All right, welcome back for another great episode of A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. We've got Diego and Naz beside me. Match day one is officially in the books. We've just finished up with Chelsea Fulham. Tons to talk about, lots of wild score lines, some very surprising, some not so much. But let's hop right into it. Guys, first of all, how was the weekend for you?
Soccer field.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the first time, there was nothing else but soccer at the brewery.
I know.
It was awesome.
It's a
really
weird, but
good time.
it's like coming back home from vacation. You're like, oh, this is my
nice.
house.
Yeah, I know. 6 games throughout the entire weekend. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Seven if you include the Arsenal one.
Yeah, 7 including
That's right. We have the Friday kickoff,
Friday
and we'll
kickoff,
have
yeah.
another. We'll talk about this at the end of the show, but we have another kickoff for this Friday with Manchester City, another one of our supporters clubs. So. And great turnout. First of all, congratulations on your first official watch party as the Hudson Valley Arsenal. Great crowd. Saw some. Actually, I took the photos, but some great photos. I saw New York City Arsenal shared and everything. So kudos, and we got to keep growing.
Yeah,
one step at a time.
But all the other ones, even though. Even the German Supercopa game, we did have at least 10 to 12 people coming in and, randomly showing up. We got families. Tottenham game. I mean, I am sad to say that the group that came in for Tottenham left a little.
Oh, my gosh.
It was crazy. But they came in and they were willing to come back. Everybody liked it. So it's going to look good. Yeah, it's going to look good for the year.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool for me to see. Like, sometimes if I even forget to make a post about, hey, we have this watch party, we're known now as the soccer spot in the Hudson Valley, so people are coming anyway. But if you want to start your own supporters club with another club that we don't have, on the books yet, plenty of room, plenty of time. So definitely reach out to us via any and all of our socials.
Yep.
That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Jump into our Discord. Send me an email, dave@cdunewburgh.com, and we're more than happy to help facilitate that. So let's finish catching up here and jump right into match day one. Some of the bigger results that we want to talk about. Very briefly, let's go over not a surprising result, but a good curtain raiser to the season. Arsenal 3, Coventry 0.
Yep.
From the Arsenal fan, what are some overall thoughts that we had? Business as usual. I think a lot of people expected, but where are we as an Arsenal fan?
Just glad that the season started up. Glad that it was a positive outlook or results. But no, it was good. We had a good showing all around. Obviously, Arteta did not stage his strongest squad, so it was nice to see some nice rotations, see some players getting some playing time, some of the newer add-ons actually getting the ball at their feet, which is nice to see. Zolis, I think, put in some of the most work. So I think we're off to a good start. We'll see. It's a weird 9-10 day layover to the next game. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, all in all, I think it's just all gears are firing still.
Now another good thing about it, back-to-back wins with 2 different squads.
Yes.
Focus, concentration. They actually didn't just, the hangover celebration thing. That you win your first game against Man City, you dominate, you prove. Sometimes you come out a little lacking on the next one, and they definitely didn't do that. Yeah. And again, a backup squad, it's even more important.
Correct. Yeah, I will say different squads somewhat, but the one common is a goal from Kai Havertz in the Community Shield and in the opener. And I've always liked him. I know he's a little mercurial is maybe not the right word, but he has his hot streaks, he has his poor streaks. He doesn't have a single role, which I think is a struggle for a lot of fans and a lot of clubs that he's played for, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's back in Germany, even with Arsenal a bit. But if he gets firing, it's going to be trouble.
I think he's found his place with Arsenal. Yeah. It seems that he's enjoying. You can see it on his face. He's enjoying soccer a lot more in this position, in this group, and for us to pick him up from Chelsea when we did was good.
Yeah.
Well, the positionless thing, like you said, there hasn't been a place for him like that. He found his place. He was running all over the place. Mm-hmm. He was everywhere at once. He was defending. He was covering spots. So because of that, I'm seeing him as one of the linchpins and cornerstones for Arsenal
for
this
sure.
year.
All right, let's move elsewhere. Hosting their first match in the Premier League as a newly promoted side, Hull City, 2 first-half goals, one from Samajai and the other one from Noble Mendy in the 38th minute. And Manchester United loses 2-0, their first ever loss in a Premier League opener against a newly promoted side. I think this was their 13th ever match doing that. And here we are. I, for one, was big on Michael Carrick when he took the job. I thought he should have been offered that job long before. Where are we with Carrick and United? Is this just a blip on the radar?
Good, yeah.
Is this indicative of maybe something down the road?
I don't know. I think it's Man United. I'm sure they'll shake it off.
Yeah.
They had a rough start to last year as well, but we'll see what happens.
And it should be said, they absolutely dominated possession, 72% to Hull's 28, 20 shots, only 6 on target though, so maybe you could say that's where some of the issue is. But, this is certainly not a great look for a Manchester United that had a lot of hope and still does have a lot of hope, especially being in Europe this year as well.
It's one of those things that you just, you met the unknown team first. That was it. Nobody knows how they played. Nobody was, have any kind of insight on any strategy that they were coming up with. Hull defended. They just defended well and capitalizing every single counterattack that they had. It was just a reality. It's not going to be a big indicator for Man U. It is a great thing for Hull. I mean,
sure.
I wish I had champagne at the brewery. We had a Hull fan here. They came in and was like, "Please tell me you have some champagne."
Do you have champagne? By the way, Danny, what's up? Thank you for popping in again.
Cheers.
Look at that. I like it. Producer Aaron has given Diego a stress ball to stop fidgeting with the mic, hopefully. And for what it's worth, Diego is probably the least stressed person I've ever met in my life.
You got your hammer there, too.
I don't know what to do with my hands,
What am I supposed to do with these?
What am I supposed to do with this, The show is handling very well.
Speaking of surprising results, Manchester United's opponent in the Europa League final from a couple years ago, Tottenham Hotspur, currently sit 18th after a 3-0 battering from Brentford. Keane Lewis Potter in the 12th minute, Jan Elt in the 33rd minute, and Michael Coyote in the 49th minute. And the De Zerbi project, after spending nearly $500 million this summer
was it
in
410,
transfers,
right?
It was in the 400s, yeah. They get absolutely walked off the pitch. Yes, they had a little bit more possession than Brentford, but that's not Brentford's game. And absolutely incredible from the Bees. And much like we just opened this, the story is more about Spurs, where maybe more deservedly so, it should be about how darn good Brentford is right now.
They looked really good, but yes, Tottenham was horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, abysmal for the money, the players, the quality. It was just disheartening to watch. I watched the entirety of that thing, and it was just, there is not one person to say anything positive about, to be honest. They play, yes. They attack. Even the stats show that they didn't do anything. But, yeah, no, it was disheartening to watch. Brentford play well. They really did. But it was to be expected. They just missed European Cups by a couple of points, wasn't it?
No,
like a point, maybe even goals. It wasn't even points. So they were
they were 4 points off of European.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? It's not super surprising. What it is shocking is just Tottenham.
Yeah.
All these millions, all these things, and it just nothing seems. Maybe this is the year. This is the year that they finally break through and go back down.
Very well possible.
I don't know if it's going to be Spurs year though. After that showing, I don't know. If you're a Spurs fan, you're going to be questioned.
No, I'm saying this is the year when you go down.
I don't
third place before the cutoff, second place before the cutoff. Last year you were the very last.
I don't think so. I think as much as the Arsenal fan in me wants to crap on them, I think that the spendings and with the Zerbi, I think he'll get them back on the right foot at least. but I think they'll be like Europa League contention this year.
I think that's fair. By the way, Red Black says, hello. What's up, guys? Lovely greetings. Hope you're all well. Red Black, we are doing very well. Thank you. Tough one in the German Super Cup. But they did show a lot of life, especially with the man down. I was pleased to see them, still with some fight late in the game against Bayern, with only 10 men there. So cheers to you, Red Black. All right, moving around, Manchester City hosting AFC Bournemouth. 2 new managers there, Enzo Maresca for City and Marco Rose, a former Borussia Dortmund manager, in fact, over at Bournemouth. Bournemouth went ahead on a Tavernier goal early in the game, and then late in the game, the pressure kept coming, and 85th and 92nd minute goals from Man City, and the Citizens take all 3 points there from Bournemouth, snapping a 19-match unbeaten streak dating back to this January, I guess that was.
Yep.
You got to feel for Bournemouth, but you could tell it was coming.
Oh yeah. Other than about 20 minutes early, that was Man City's match. But go on. What else did you notice in that?
Listen, I mean, it did expose some to Man City. It makes you question on those back 4 of who they've really got. We do know that they've been on a big selling spree. They have announced a couple of signings over the last 2 or so days. But it going forward, I feel like they're going to have a hard time keeping that.
Yeah,
that back line.
And it seems like they're just kind of plugging people in spots that they don't necessarily belong or they're not mostly comfortable with. That could just maybe take some time. As I'm on record saying I think August and September for Maresca and Man City is just going to be a trial period.
You guys are also on record for saying that you never want to be the guy that comes after the guy.
So
I mean, you've got a team that's used to Pep's ways, Pep's rules. Enzo comes in and he starts poking and prodding, moving things around, and
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. You had David Moyes, who's had a otherwise great career, but taking over after Ferguson at Man United. You have Unai Emery, who's had an otherwise great career, taking after Wenger at Arsenal. I mean, you could even say a little bit, even though he had some success, Arne Slot at Liverpool, coming in after Jurgen Klopp. He won the title and then had a subpar year by all accounts, and he was out the door.
Yep.
It's very difficult to succeed a club legend like some of these managers are. So,
to be honest, for me, the only problem was Haaland's haircut. Jesus,
you could tell the physics was throwing him off.
Yeah,
it is crazy.
First of all,
it is insane. No, it's not the thing, man.
Yeah.
It's not the thing. It's weird. It's Thor's powers right there. The striking Viking needs the hair. He holds him up in the air a little longer. He makes him more intimidating. The drag, bro. It's a millisecond, but that's the header right there. No, I can't deal with it. I hate it. Please don't cut your hair ever again, man. Just trim it, all right?
Yeah. I said the analogy of it looks like a kid right before picture day, where his mom forces him to get a haircut.
No, it looks like basic training. Like somebody just went in and oh no, my hair's a mess, buzz it, and all of a sudden you're just left
from where his hair used to be, pulled back. It's
too much of a baby Gerber picture.
Dude. He does. He also looks like he's about 13 years old now.
Too much. I can't.
The fresh shave.
Other than that, the game was the game. Yeah. Things happen. Bournemouth looks okay. It's a transition of players, but that was a long-lasting memory from that first Man City Bournemouth match to me. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, another somewhat surprising result. 2 teams in a lot of kind of influx with players out the door. But Brighton and Hove Albion 4-0 over 10-man Aston Villa. I know Villa's been picked apart. Tielemans is gone.
Rogers is gone.
Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins rumored to be leaving. Ezra Konsa just went to Arsenal.
I think somebody else just got announced too a couple days ago.
But also, Brighton has year after year lost players. Baleba is gone now. Yakuba Minte is rumored to be on the way out. So in the face of all that, for Brighton to put that number together and put 4 in on Aston Villa.
To be fair, it also is one of those things that I think it was just a complete meltdown on Villa's side as well. They did not look ready for the season. They didn't look like they were playing.
I think I said that. It looked like a preseason match.
Yeah.
You know, what do you like? Where are you with that?
No, I again, and you saw it in the red card. I think the new players that he's got under him are also not disciplined. I mean, that guy kicked out at a player into his chest. Like, what are you doing? Like, how do you not hold? Like,
that's frustration right there. That was just frustration seeping out. It was just too much.
And maybe the
it
most
is one of those
important
things.
part of that Brighton match was one of our Seagulls on Hudson members, Greg, bringing. Shout out Dysing's Bakery in Kingston, bringing the crumb cake. Absolutely incredible. And unfortunately for me, as you guys know with our pour over show and bringing donuts, I have absolutely zero willpower when it comes to pastries.
there was still some left for that NYCFC game. I had another piece.
Well, if anything, it's just good karma finally paying off for my guy. Man.
Yeah, he's been here for every game.
Every game, every loss, always crumb cakes. Never a good point. This is the one.
Yeah,
man.
he went from
This
eating
is
his
the one.
feelings to a celebratory pastry.
Yeah.
Yes, while
Just
Dave
like
was
that.
having squeaky bum time with
Yeah.
Man City
No, but to
Bournemouth,
be
I was in there
honest-
celebrating
with
with
them.
him. Yeah.
No, but they look incredible. Finally, a game that I can see that they knew how to finish. That was the thing with Brighton. They just cannot finish those games and close them up. And this one, they were up 4 goals in the first half.
Yeah.
Usually they collapse and that game ends up being 4-3, 4-2, easy.
But no
That they
Matoma.
won. Shut up.
No Matoma.
Don't. I thought about that. I was like, "Are you the problem, my guy?
Yeah.
Are you the connected problem?"
Oh, man.
So I didn't want to say anything.
All right, so Brighton on the south coast. Let's move up north to Newcastle, hosting Liverpool in Andoni Iraola's first competitive match, rather,
Yep.
for the Reds. A 2-2 draw. Another very surprising result. Not to take us back to our pour over episodes, but with our predictions, all 5 of us picked Liverpool to win.
Yep. And it was a ridiculous thing that happened. I mean, I was expecting Iraola not to have like the greatest time for getting the team together for the first match, but they just couldn't handle Newcastle. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They
no,
just
and
couldn't.
Newcastle's lost a lot of players in the last year and a half. But
There's a rumor that Willock's leaving after just scoring the goal.
after scoring, wow.
They look better than last year, 100%.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like, the amount of mobility that the players had, they just looked free in that game. They were dominating Liverpool. Liverpool got really, I want to say, lucky to get that tie.
Well, they got a 99th minute penalty from Dominic Szoboszlai.
Oh yeah, didn't you see the guy held up the sign that says "Until Liverpool scores"?
But
LIV?
Yeah, LIV,
goes to
yeah.
show you, Eddie Howe won them a title, a cup title was that last year or the year before. But, sometimes you just need that change to really, have things set
on
in.
Liverpool?
Newcastle.
For
Oh,
Newcastle,
Newcastle.
yeah. He won a Carabao Cup. It was our first title in, I think, 40 or 50 years.
Yeah.
But, and he was great at Bournemouth until he wasn't. It's kind of one of those things where you can bring them to a certain point, but can you get them over the hump?
So now what do you do about our friend Iraola? I mean,
Well, I think...
is it going to be okay?
I think he'll right the ship. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of change. Even though Jurgen Klopp was that gegenpressing style, Arne Slot a little bit different, but still, that counterattacking and that counterpressing. It's going to take some time for Iraola to vet these guys and get them kind of humming the way he wants. We've talked about this at length multiple times. We're following a World Cup, a lot of players moving around as well. This whole first month of the season is going to be absolutely bonkers in terms of like these bizarre results that we're getting. Case in point, Brighton beating Villa 4-0. The Brentford Tottenham score. The whole City Man United score. Which brings me to my next point or next question for you guys. What do you think was the most surprising result from match day 1?
The Tottenham game.
Yeah.
Even Hall winning wasn't that surprising. I kind of expected the whole new team type surprise result because they're coming in God's places. They got nothing to lose. It's their very first match. Everybody's elated, but that Tottenham defeat was just mind blowing. Like just the way the game played out, it was just bizarre.
Yeah. What about you for you, Nas?
No, I agree. I think it's the Brentford Spurs game. I think that United just had a hiccup. I mean, you can't really help when your defender hugs his own defender. So, but I think it's the Spurs. Again, you went out, you bought the players you wanted.
Yep.
You're still buying the players you wanted.
Yep.
You put together a team to try and get yourself out of that relegation fight you've been in the last 2 years, and you suddenly find yourself in the relegation fight again.
Yeah, no, and the very first thing you do with that is lay a massive egg.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go in a slightly different direction.
And they are birds.
Because I'm here. I'm here for the chaos. Mine is Nottingham Forest under new manager Oliver Glasner losing on an 88th minute goal at home, and the Marinakis clock is ticking already for me.
But is that really surprising if you expect that to happen? Is that surprising?
I think Oliver Glasner is a great manager. I would not have expected a home loss against Leeds.
I think Dave just wanted to throw another game, and we talked about it.
I mean, I'm
The
shameless
statistician.
my promotion.
The statistician.
The statistician, I remember.
All right,
Here,
so that does it for match day 1 here. We're now in a kind of weird time of the season, only 1 week in or 2 weeks in some of the other leagues, but the transfer window is still open.
Yes.
So let's chat a little bit about some of these transfer rumors that are kind of shoring up and solidifying, and see who might be jumping ship, whether it's domestically or abroad, in the first couple of weeks. And the first one looks to be maybe Arsenal bringing in a forward, Julian Alvarez, formerly of Man City, now with Atletico Madrid. I don't know if either of you guys saw, the end of the match or as he was coming off, but he was being booed by Atletico 90 minutes.
Told by his own, by his own higher ups to not go out and celebrate with the fans.
Yeah. So it's gotten very ugly there in Madrid for Julian Alvarez. Initially he wanted to go to Barcelona, and I totally understand Atleti not wanting to sell to a direct rival. But I am on record as being one of these guys that I want the players to have the power to go where they want to go. I'm all for the player power. Do we think that Arsenal can swing this deal?
I don't want him.
Okay.
I don't want him.
Why? I want to hear this.
He's on a 6-year contract. He's only been there for 2 years. Atletico broke the bank to bring him in. They built the team around him. 2 years after, he wants out. He wants to go to Barcelona.
Exactly.
Turns down Arsenal, who first approached him. Wants Barcelona. Arsenal approaches again. Wants Barcelona. I don't want somebody who doesn't want to be here.
Okay.
Why? Watch. He's going to come here for 1 year and then has to go to Barcelona because Arsenal will be able to send him to Barcelona.
Well, no, that is the thing. I think that his end game is that he wants to be a Barca player, and he's circumventing the situation, and Arsenal will be the team that is just going to be the rebound.
Last year, you have Gyökeres, who wanted to play here. He puts in 14 goals in the Premier League and helps us win our first title in 22 years. You have Christos Zolis, who wanted to be here, and he puts up 6 goals and assists in the first 5 games he's played for them.
Yeah.
Almost putting up another assist in the first game.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if you heard him. The little joke he said is that his kick to I think it was Saka that put it in, counts as an assist on fantasy football. So he said, I'll take it.
That's how you get in trouble with all these betting companies, by saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the reason Julian Alvarez might be going to Arsenal is because it is heavily rumored now that Gab Martinelli is going to the Saudi Pro League. Rumors of a £47 million offer from, I believe it's Al Hilal. Yes, Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League to bring in Gab Martinelli. I'll defer back to Naz once again.
It's all fair.
Is he surplus to parts? Do they want to keep him? No,
No. Listen, if they kept him, I feel like he would be a third option, right? Again, he lost his starting. I talked about this yesterday with you guys. He lost his starting position to Cesar. He only put in 1 goal last season. He's been on a slow decline since his 23 when he put in 15 goals, I think, in the Premier League. And I think his ship has run a course. He's been here 5 years, and that typically, unless you have a story named player that's been with the thing since the beginning, I don't think players tend to stay more than 5 years. And I think the issue is the way that the media is blowing it up. and how it looks is what's causing the issue. But in my opinion, if he was to leave, I would, obviously he would be sent off as a hero. And wherever he goes to play, he'd be supported, just like Trossard was. Trossard left to go play in Turkey with Besiktas, and he was lauded as a hero.
True. No, and to be honest, he was part of big driving force of that Arsenal championship coming out of the bench.
Yeah.
You were saying,
Sure.
yes, he's out of the bench, he's not going to get time. But every time he came in, he kind of delivered, whether it was assisting or whether it was scoring that last minute, last 5-10 minute goal.
You're seeing, you're seeing the same thing with like Jesus right now. Is they came in when Arsenal was struggling.
Yep.
They helped turn the team around. However, those were the players that Arsenal needed at that time. Those were the players that Arsenal could afford. Those were the players that were playing to the thing that they needed. Now that Arsenal has brought themselves back to that position, it's been 5 years. Like, you've been playing for 5 years. Like,
No, the
again,
cycle is over.
yeah, it's time for you to go play maybe something a little less match intensive, less time intensive. Again, like all power to him if he gets the money back from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. All right. Elsewhere, Newcastle United, who we just talked about losing players left and right, look to be set for a £50 million deal with Nico Gonzalez from Man City. The prime midfielder. They were starting to build a lot around him at City. They've had a significant breakthrough in negotiations, according to Yahoo Sports here, and it sounds like a done deal within the next couple days. Again, this central spine area for Man City continues to just leak players. Obviously Stones, Ake, Akanji, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva, including Pep Guardiola, already out the door. Nico Gonzalez appears to be the next one.
It's fine.
But, I was just going to say, on the heels of that, it sounds like Enzo Fernandez from Chelsea will be filling that gap for Man City. This has been a long...
That's also not the only one that they've picked up, too.
What do you got for me, Nas?
They also picked up Boati.
Oh, yes.
And then they were just rumored this morning to be picking up the left wing from Palmeiras.
Yeah.
And both of those being 18, there's a rumor that City is bracing for those discussion to come full front.
Exactly.
Because again, they're bringing in younger players that are gonna and newer players on these first year of their contracts to be able to survive the
penalties
right.
and all this stuff.
That's all well and good, but those players are not ready tomorrow to step into this squad.
Doesn't really matter at this point of the situation for Man City. They, like you said, Pep is gone.
Yeah.
It's a new Man City. It's a new process. What a better time than now to just jump ship, dump all the assets, get as much as you can from them, get cheap assets, suffer a little bit, maybe suffer this year, not be middle of the table for 1 year is not.
I don't think that's
horrible.
in Man City's,
If there is something that they know that we don't, and things are coming down, and you gotta protect yourself,
there,
you know
but
what I mean? That's the thing.
You don't offer potentially £120 million then for Enzo if you're looking to rebuild.
Yeah.
My issue with Enzo is I don't think Enzo's going to be able to fit anywhere in England. I think he should have left England.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about after the World Cup.
After the World Cup, he saw it at Chelsea.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're going from the largest city in England to basically the second largest city in England.
I think technically Birmingham is the second largest city, but
second largest soccer city. I should say.
Sir,
Let's put it that
thank
way.
you.
Liverpool and Everton fans in chat, let them know what this.
That's fine. You can let me know all you want.
No, but you have to have one player. You can't just tank, as they will say in America.
Yeah.
They, obviously, but I think it's just transitional points nowadays. And by what is the kid's name? Gonzalez going to the
Newcastle. Yeah.
Newcastle. It's good for him. It's very good for him. It's going to be very good for him. And my beautiful producer that gave it his ball is telling us to hurry up. So go ahead, my brother.
All right, so let's move over now to some MLS news. This was a double match week for the MLS, so games on Wednesday and the weekend. New York Red Bulls and NYCFC both struggled mightily. New York City FC, they both had 1 point from their two matches. a loss and a draw, obviously. But there is some hope this weekend. NYCFC, they are currently right on the edge of the playoff picture. NYCFC in 7th, Red Bulls in 8th. NYCFC will travel to Toronto, who's in 10th in the East, on Saturday, while Red Bulls will host Philadelphia Union, currently in 13th place. Although they did have that last week's come-from-behind win against NYCFC, a 3-2 win after being down 2-0. And then we will kind of bridge the gap from MLS to One for the Road. We have a couple little, bits and bobs, one of whom is an MLS story. Nashville maintained their hot season. They had 2 wins this week in that double match week I spoke about, and their 49 points over their 21 matches is the best start in MLS history, besting LAFC, besting Inter Miami. So they are on record pace to break the points record behind Sam Surridge, former Bournemouth player.
I don't know. As we've learned in many US sports, you can have the best record going,
playoffs, baby.
but the playoffs is what matters.
It's all about those playoffs.
All right. Another one for the road. The Hand of God ball from the 1986 World Cup final sold at auction. I believe this was through Heritage Auctions, and it sold for $3.35 million. What are your thoughts on it? Is that a fair price for that soccer ball?
Listen, it's memorabilia. I don't care. It's just it's subjective value. I will pay him if I had the money. It's a thing that I find hilarious, and I think it's one of the most amusing plays that have ever happened because he got away with it. So yeah, if I had the money, I'll pay for it. It's subjective. Who cares?
There you go. We kind of, this reminds me, do you remember what the last year or the year before we were talking about the lockers from
yes.
Was that Real Madrid or Barcelona?
It was Barca. It was Barca because they were trying to finance.
Oh yeah, the Messi locker. Yeah.
So yeah, no. We all got balls now.
Nas is ballless.
Because he keeps steady. He doesn't fidget. We are the fidgety
I know what to do with these.
Yeah.
I have a one for the road.
All right, one for the road from
What
Nas.
do you guys think about the giant rumor of Tottenham having put, or what was it, a City having put the transfer fees?
Oh yes,
swapping them between the two players so that they would not have to pay Frankfurt a $15 million sell-on fee.
I saw this. If there is a way that can be proven, I hope, and this regardless whether it was Bournemouth, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Once Caldas, whether it's Atlético Nacional, I hope if it can be proven that they bang the hammer down.
So 116 charges.
But who's counting?
Never.
Arsenal fans. That's
Every fan. What are you talking about?
Never.
Every
happened.
fan.
You know what? I at the end of last season, I changed my mind. Man City as a business is one of the most genius vanguard teams in England right there, and they're gonna get away with whatever they want to do. Nobody's gonna stop them, and
They're
we
just
better accept that. Accept that.
I don't know if you.
I know it annoys me. Though. It annoys me, but they're just genius on their schemes.
They're just proving that if you have money, you can get away with anything.
It's part of it.
I mean, that's been the case for literally thousands of years. So.
Too big to fail, baby, as they say.
All right, Diego, you have one on the women's side of the game, yeah?
Yeah, Esther. Well, I mean, it comes from my producer, but yes. Esther, very underhandedly, to my opinion, I'm going to go personal on this one because loyalty counts sometimes. Created some, no, I'm not going to say that, no. Had some family problems in her country.
And all alleged. We don't know.
It's all alleged. I have no evidence. I don't talk to them. I don't like them. No. She went back, broke contract, and all of a sudden, she came up becoming a part of Saudi Arabia league team.
Yep.
I honestly think that is just ridiculous. That is just extremely, again, like I said before, underhanded. Whether there were reasons or not, there is protocols and there are things that you should follow. Let people know about things. There is money that's involved right now. There is a lot of money that could have been involved in that situation. So that is part of that as well. And your teammates and everybody else that is involved with that situation. You're leaving so many people hanging out to dry And on the team's hand, and on the team side, you didn't see this coming.
Yeah,
or
yeah, no, it's certainly.
How involved are you in this situation? I don't know. It's a thing that we were talking about, and it kind of like really called me, and that's what I was like, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, and so for Gotham to have done this, I totally. I mean, this kind of stuff happens a lot where there's a mutual consent of, either this isn't working, or I've got some pressing matters. I can't, in good conscience, put everything toward my football team. I have to get back home and do this or that. I understand that stuff happens a lot. I would assume when those contracts are terminated in those cases, there is some kind of like, hey, 6 months of or whatever timeline, or we have first right of refusal to re-sign you. I don't know if any of that occurred. Again, we are all just doing this via reports. But I also want to point out, not that this is a topic that we get into very much so, but Esther is openly gay going to the Saudi Pro League.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine. I mean, I always, I'm very optimistic with stuff. But I can't imagine this is going to be a scenario in which she can live her life, the way she wants. So obviously, money fixes a lot of those issues. I don't know if she'll be kind of commuting from Spain to do all this. Nobody knows. But it will certainly add another wrinkle or two into that contract.
No, 100%. It's a cultural thing. At the end, it's a thing that cannot be avoided.
Sure.
She can't bring her family there. She's gonna have to, like you said, leave him in Spain. It's not that far. Technically, the geographic situation, she can always just commute, like you say, once a month. Or during the off season,
and as a former Real Madrid player, maybe she'll take one of their club sponsors and just fly Emirates and go back and forth.
But still, the fundamental part of it is what you stand for and what you did. You know what I mean? And that kind of like annoys me. And
I always say, everyone has ethics and morals until there's a suitcase of cash coming across the table, and it really does test you.
Well, again, most people don't really care about that thing unless you're famous.
Yeah, and to be honest, I did not have, keeping my eye on the Saudi Women's Professional League on my bingo card for 2026, but I'm certainly going to, keep in tune to that at least a little bit and see how Esther gets on with that. Our last one for the road, which will kind of lead into our closing, we briefly mentioned it last week. I had a great interview with 1998 World Cup head coach for the U.S. men's national team, Steve Sampson, that is now officially on our YouTube as of late last night, covering a bunch of topics, mostly, in and around the World Cup, but his past as, a head coach for the national team, what he thought of Pochettino, what he thought of, the U.S., their performance in the World Cup, what his thoughts on the Gianni Infantino scenario and how he can move forward into the 2030 World Cup, both for FIFA and for the U.S. men's national team. So it's a great listen and watch live on YouTube. And that brings us to the closing. Again, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Our video channels are Twitch and YouTube. Audio is Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want us on socials, whether it's to start your own supporters clubs right here in Newburgh Brewing Company, or just to chat and get all our updates and news stories, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, as well as join our Discord and talk with like-minded fans or us personally. So we're always happy to spread the love and share our thoughts on the game. Absolutely. Right here with the soccer fan walks into a bar. We've got plenty of watch parties coming up this week.
Absolutely.
And we will see you there or right back here Saturday morning for the pour over. And then next Monday, again, soccer fan walks into a bar, guys. Cheers.